Here we go. Man, you're just gonna love this, Carrie. It's so great. Okay.
Movie time.
So this is from Cut, which I guess is some channel. I don't really know this channel. And yeah, I'm gonna pause it periodically so that we don't get in trouble for copying.
We have to pause and talk over it, I guess.
Yeah.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Oh, well, according to television, everything. A white man could fly. Even a white woman, she could be 4'1". She knew karate. She could take down 15 people.
So, all right. I think before we even start, Carrie, we should just have a quick conversation about the question itself, maybe?
Yeah.
Put aside the grammar. We asked 100 black folks with an X in America to tell us what white people are superior at. Now, what the hell kind of question is this, by the way? This entire video, I mean, we don't have to, we're going to watch more, but you could stop right here and go, this video is clearly designed. By the way, these people probably voted for Biden and claim that they want unity. This is designed to divide people. This is designed to piss off white people and black people. This is designed to piss people off. That's all this is.
This video is an equal opportunity offender.
Right. Right. Yeah, and the folks with an X is my favorite part. So, the first lady, right? She's according to Hollywood, they can do anything. White people can fly. I can't. Can you fly, Carrie?
Well, I'm sorry you caught me eating a strawberry.
That's okay. No one can see you right now. You're safe.
I know. I just have food in my mouth. Come on. I think the biggest, you're talking about fantasy films. So even that is silly. It's like saying, Hollywood has taught me that, white people are invisible because of the Invisible Man. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
That's right. It makes absolutely no sense. And also, I do want to point this out. And this... when you're in a country with large majority population of X type of person, most Hollywood stars, most movie stars will be of the persuasion X. It doesn't matter. Most Chinese films feature Chinese people. Most Japanese movies feature Japanese people. Most American movies feature a mix of mostly white and then some of the less represented demographically people. That's just the truth. But maybe she never saw that. What's the Black Panther movie? Maybe she never saw that one. Okay.
Somebody in chat just pointed out that a couple people pointed out the comments are shut off. Yeah, you will notice on most woke videos on YouTube, they cut the comments off because they can't bear to see the criticism. It's just like people who delete comments that are criticizing or that are challenging what it is they're saying. They can't bear for it to stay up. Well, they avoid that by not even allowing comments in the first place. They're like, well, we might get some positive comments. It doesn't matter. They're mostly going to be negative. Let's just turn it off.
Yeah. Well, who knows? They may have turned it off after the first couple comments.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't surprise me. All right. Let's keep going.
What are white people superior at?
Damn white
Man.
people. Oh, can't think of anything. Which is good, I guess. That's good.
Oh God.
What are white people superior at?
They just keep talking, mostly about their pets.
White people love their dogs. Like, that's all you see.
Cats, letting them get on your countertops while you're cooking. Yes, I get that you love your pet.
Can I just pause for a second? No one believes that white people... I mean, okay, maybe there's like Richard Spencer and some crazies. No one's running around saying white people are superior at anything. This question is so dishonest. this question is so dishonest. No one is saying this. No one says this. So now they've got to pull out things. Okay, apparently white people like dogs and cats. All right.
Well, I mean, these are kind of like the kind of stereotypes that would be funny in a comedy routine. Like most stereotypes, they're grounded in not absolute truth, but they're grounded in a truth or anecdotal truth or an observation, averages,
Right.
that kind of thing.
Right.
If these are comedians up there saying, white people love their dogs. I mean, it's funny. What
Is it?
what
I
you're
don't
not
even
allowed
know
to
that that's
do, though,
true, but okay.
But what you're not allowed to do, though, in this day and age is to do the opposite. They have now said, with this kind of observational humor or whatever, that you're only allowed to do it when you are talking about a specific race or a specific sex. So whereas you used to be able to do comedy routines about, well, black people love their XYZ or whatever, now you're not allowed. You're only allowed to do it about white people. It's like, which I think is the person in the chat who said that's offended me and I'm black. It's like, it's offensive. Like,
Of
you
course.
can take a joke.
It's stupid.
And as a woman, they do the same thing. It's sort of like you're not allowed to make jokes about what women can't drive or whatever, these stereotypes about women. As if I'm a fragile being who hearing a joke about how women can't drive, like as if that's going to hurt me in some way. But
Right.
jokes about men, being slouches who can't figure anything out at home or can't figure out how to run the dishwasher, like that's fine.
Yep.
It's just this double standard thing is what we're getting into. I haven't seen this video before, so this is kind of nice watching it fresh with you. But now we're getting into this sort of double standard thing of here are some observational things that I think I've discovered about white people, and some of them are humorous. Okay, cool.
I haven't found anything humorous yet, but okay.
It would be if it were on a comedy stage. They're trying to make something serious out of it. But if you were on stage saying this in a comedy routine, I could imagine myself laughing.
I could imagine maybe Chris Rock doing a much better delivery about white people and dogs or something. But I don't, even that to be funny would have to probably more be about white women and yap dogs that stick in their purse. Like, okay, that, you'd have to be more specific. But for it to be funny.
I kind of agree. White people in general love the dog. The other thing is that we've forgotten that when you do comedy and you make observations like that, obviously you're not talking about everyone. You, for example, Carter, you don't have dogs. You're not, obviously there are black people who love their dogs and do nothing but post dog pictures.
Yeah, no, I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying I don't get why that's funny.
And because it's kind of, I would kind of agree with that.
It's funny.
Anyway.
Okay. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just dense. Okay, I don't get that. Okay, they're funny. People love dogs. Okay, let's keep going.
Your pet, but like you need to take it everywhere, like everywhere. I guess hey, emotional support animals. I guess.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Fuck, man, like making cereal.
Casseroles.
What kind of casserole?
Tuna. It's always tuna. What do you mean? It's always tuna.
Using mayonnaise in a lot of their recipes.
Making bland food.
Unseasoned chicken.
How are you gonna start whole spice wars and don't even use seasoning on your food? I mean, come on.
What exactly?
So, unseasoned food and tuna casseroles.
Again, they're just recycling. I've heard almost all of this on comedy stages before, like 10 years ago. They're just recycling old comedy bits, old stereotypes. And of course, this isn't true for everyone. It just, I don't mind it. It's just funny to me that you're only allowed, they're taking stuff that used to be said on a comedy stage and they're now saying it in this sort of, because it's a double standard and you can only say it about one race, it's now in this sort of, this is truth thing. They're pushing it as something serious almost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that's what's weird about it. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what the point of this, like, if you said watermelon and fried chicken and they were asking about what black people are superior at, you would get banned in a heartbeat. Like, if you
that's what I mean.
Like, if you took a couple stereotypes like that and threw them around like this, you would be, I don't think you should be banned, but you would be instantaneously.
Can I tell you? Oh my gosh, I wish he was here today. He won't mind me telling this.
Okay. What?
Our friend Mystery Chris, who's, if you haven't seen it yet, we just did a pilot episode of a new show we're trying out called Popped Culture, because he's a wealth of information about a lot of things, but also about pop culture. And so we just did that. We put it out yesterday. You can go check it out. But he was telling me about how, because of the stereotype about black people and chicken, if he's at a work dinner and they have two options like barbecue and chicken, and he sees the chicken, he'll go over to the barbecue first, like, oh, this is some good chicken, don't mind if I do. Like, he'll wait to get to the chicken. Why, that's so funny to me. It's like, I don't want to be the stereotype. Okay.
All right. We'll go back to the video.
Yeah, but you're right. You're not allowed to make these. These are like, these would be silly jokes on a stage, and they have been. They're just recycling old, easy racial stereotypes. But the double standard is what's weird now.
Right. Although
Yeah.
I am looking forward to some mayonnaise later. All right. Let's see.
What are white people superior at?
Smelling funky. Santa Claus. Extreme water sports.
Corn mazes.
White people are great at having fun. That's a function of white supremacy because they just don't have as many stresses as we do.
White people are very superior.
We're good at having fun because we don't have as many stresses.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know.
All right. By the way, have you noticed these people's shirts? They're all activist shirts. The one before this guy's shirt says defund, disrupt, dismantle. This guy's shirt, I don't know what that one is. Hold on. This woman's shirt, that's a KKK hood on a cop holding a gun. These people are all
Okay.
lefty
Yeah, I missed that.
activist people. But all right, let's see what this dude has to say.
Superior at their privilege and utilizing it. We do not have the privilege to do whatever and however we want to.
What exactly?
I
Okay,
can't wait
now
till later
we're-
today to do whatever and whenever I want to.
Okay,
What
now
about
we're
you?
getting to something that does bother me.
course.
The silly racial stereotypes about what kind of food white people like to eat or what, all that stuff doesn't, who cares? It's a form of, again, recycled comedy. This is different. This is, now they're getting into the ideology part. Now they're getting into white people have a privilege and that I don't have, although I can't really explain what that privilege is, or, by your skin color gives you something that is vague and I can't really articulate or defend. And it's no different than saying, it's really at its root, this is going to sound like I'm making an exaggeration, but at its root, I think this lie is no different than the types of racist indoctrination that Hitler was doing, to reserve battalion police officers. You were teaching that there is something inherent.
Right. The
about
Jew is this, or the Jew
an
is that,
entire-
he would say.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. And he, like, this is going to get, I guess this white privilege thing bothers me on this because there's no, I don't know, we're superior at having white privilege. They don't mention that, like you said, there's no example of what it is. There's no discussion. It's just they have this privilege and we can do whatever we want. This enables them to, I guess this is what bothers me. We've talked before about the fun aspect of this. They hate people enjoying themselves and having fun. And this allows them to justify hating your fun. Because if you're smiling or having fun or enjoying anything, this is why they go after anything that, you'll notice they attack cultural activities or icons that they believe the white population enjoys, because you're not supposed to enjoy anything. Enjoyment is a manifestation of your white supremacist feelings and your white privilege. So it enables them to go after enables them to be killjoys, like virtue signaling killjoyism. like
if I saw this play out a lot of times when I was squarely in the woke cult. If someone basically said, let's say there was a toxic social media war happening over a period of days or something where someone was being attacked. Okay, here's a great example. Let's take the knitting wars. Maria Tuscan did a video saying, I'm not I'm just going to go off Instagram. I'm not going to get involved in any way. It's gotten too toxic on Instagram.
Right.
I saw that happen tons of times in my life in the social justice world. Somebody basically tries to have personal responsibility over their own behavior and extract themselves and take the high road. And what they're told is that's your sin. Yeah, that's your privilege. I use the word sin because they use the word privilege in that way, but they're saying, oh, that's that's evidence of your privilege. Only
the fact that you can disengage.
The fact that you can disengage, as if the person saying it has no personal agency, it takes them off the hook of restraining themselves and walking away.
Right. I
can't walk away. I have to be an abusive F word on Twitter because it's, I don't have the privilege you do to disengage, I must do this. I must behave like a C word. I'm sorry, I sound like Ben Shapiro now.
Is that what he says? Does he use this?
He uses F word, C word, all that stuff, yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
All right, let's continue. Let's see what else white people have privilege about.
Exactly, are white people superior at?
Not getting arrested.
I was driving down the street with
By the way, that alone is, like, I know what he meant by it, but that's pretty offensive. He's basically saying white people are good at following the law. I guess he's just not getting arrested, but that one to me is kind of funny.
Down the highway with a friend of mine who was white, when he's like, I'm just want to pull over and pee. And I'm in the passenger seat. And I was like, please don't. Because a black man thinks differently. If I pull over to the side of the road and pee, a cop is going to be right behind me to punish me.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Hey, Carrie, can we just pause for a second?
Yeah.
That's a reinforcement of the debunked. I'm going to use the word that they like to use the word debunked a lot. That's a reinforcement of the debunked theory that blacks are disproportionately targeted by police. And that's been studied quite a lot. And I know that a lot of the people that think that are in some sort of echo chamber where every time there's any kind of police activity against a black person, it's amplified and shared around. And so that's all they ever see. But the data doesn't support this. But again, this is just contributing.
One of the best studies on that is the Harvard study by Roland Fryer. And he actually did a follow-up study as well, but there's more than one.
And he didn't expect to find that. He expected to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He's also he's a black professor, and he expected to find the opposite of what he found.